Hi, I'm Aussie Bill and welcome to episode 37 of Aussie Cluff, our bid to return Nottingham Forest to the top of European football. Now, last episode, disappointing result against Sevilla in the Champions League, good result against Spurs. You can see we've played 4 games since then, and Arsenal aside, things have gone really well. First of all, we played them in the league, away of course, you can see there. 2-2 at finish. Now, it was disappointing, we did blow a 2-0 lead. You can see Mosley and Ortiz had put us 2-0 up in the 21st minute. Pellegrini, they took one back for Arsenal relatively soon. It was disappointing. In 93rd minute, they got their equaliser, which is obviously, as I said, disappointing, but Arsenal were excellent, and quite honestly, they could have scored 10, so to get out of there with a 2-2 draw, I was pretty happy with that, all things considered. Then we went and played Roma in the Champions League, and this was a really, really solid away performance. We never gave them a sniff, and you can see El Azaj in the 30th minute. Callum Mosley made it look a little bit more comfortable maybe than it was. 93rd minute, there's a theme there, isn't there, but made it 2-0 for us. Really good 3 points, really, really solid performance, was happy with that. Then we went and played Swansea at home in the league, and you can see 5-2. We were okay in the first half, but defensively poor. They were 2-0. We weren't 2-0 down, but it was they scored 2 goals in the first half, and it was 2-2 at half-time. Scando and Bennett getting the goals. In the second half, we were absolutely amazing. Much, much better. Jordan Sawyer with 2, and Mariano Ortiz adding a 5th for us. Really, really comfortable win, defensive performance aside. Then we played Arsenal in the Carabao Cup. Now, I said we weren't going to take this very seriously. We played the reserves, as you can see. Arsenal took it seriously. They played their strongest team. We never looked like scoring, but we really stuck in there bravely. You can see we took it to extra time, which was... I'm proud of the boys, let's just put it that way. It's one of those ones where I was really proud that Timmy put out had no business taking that Arsenal team to extra time. We did. We lost, and, we're out of the Carabao Cup, but we can be proud of that performance. This episode, we're going to play Newcastle at home in the league, and then we're going to have the return fixture... Sorry, we're going to play Newcastle away, and then we have the return fixture at home to Roma in the Champions League. If we look at the league table here, you can see still flying high, and look at that, a nice little 4-point gap to Chelsea in second. And if the main goal is to try and get back in the Champions League, you can see West Ham are 4th right now, Manchester City 5th. We've got a nice little 7-point gap back to 5th, so all things are coming up for us on that front. Now, last episode, we said we were going to have a look at Callum Styles. Toby P had said we should look at signing him. We've got the scouting report back. You can see he's rated 64, would be a useful signing. If we look at the scouting report, you can see he's a 3-star player. He's a good quality championship player, would be a useful signing. I'll be honest, guys, we're not looking to sign good, solid championship players. You can see he would cost around about 10 million, maybe more. Be on a good chunk of wages for considering what we have other players at the club. That's sort of Callum Mosley money, and for someone that's a championship level player, I don't think we need him, guys. I'll be honest. We want to sign better players than that. As I said, let me know what you think, but my first instinct is that unless you guys have a desperate desire to sign Callum Styles, I don't think he's one for us right now. But let's have a look at the team that's going out to face Newcastle, and we can see it's not Token Aussie in goal. That's the Arsenal game. It's going to be Vazquez in goal. It's going to be Kunjero, Novikov, and Buzanel across the back. Scando and Toth go down the wings. Milovanovic, I'd like to play him. As you can see, he's resting. His match fitness, his fatigue levels are high, so we're going to rest him here, hopefully, so he'll be fit for the Roma game. Lacey's going to play in midfield with a Rosa. I just feel like Griffiths isn't doing it for us so far this season, not consistently enough, and Joey Joyce is on the bench. If we need him, he can cover both those positions well. Bennett's going to play in behind Mosley and Ortiz. If we just quickly scroll down, we can see that El Azaj has picked up a knock. It's nothing serious, he's out for 2 days. Hopefully he'll be back for Roma, but for this game, it's Mosley and Ortiz. Okay, so Newcastle 4-4-2, pretty standard stuff there, isn't it? Let's hope we can get the better of them. Do this one for the fans. That's what Jean-Mario says. Alright, go out there, give the fans their money's worth. And some calm, we have faith. And let's hope we give our fans their money's worth. So, Newcastle United, they're not the strongest team in the league. It's a sort of game, even though it's away from home, we should really be winning. We do have that little bit of a buffer to 4th place, even to 2nd place, but we just want to make sure that we're not letting that slip against silly teams. If you'd seen Arsenal, they were so much better than us. Decent ball in, keeper claims though. So if there are other teams that are up there, the Chelseas and that, are going to play like Arsenal did, we need to make sure we're winning these games, because we're going to drop points against teams like Arsenal. To say we were lucky to get a point from them honestly, it doesn't do them justice. They were absolutely amazing. We just happened to pick them off twice. A little bit fortunately, that's not the greatest shot. If they're going to shoot from there like that all day, then we'll be very happy. Alright, so what can Vazquez do? He's gone over for Buzzanel. Buzzanel gets it forward quickly for Toth. Can Toth beat his man? He's going to have a go at it. He can't, though. Enrique's more than level to him. So that wasn't great. Buzzanel's won that header, though. Rosa gets there, up to Bennett. Bennett for Mosley. This is nice. What can be? Look out for Toth. Look for Toth. Oh, look at the space Toth's in. We're going to have to maybe look to tell him to exploit the flanks, because it looks like Scando's in a little bit of space out there as well. They've gone early for... What a tackle that is from Buzzanel. That possibly saved a goal. Certainly a shot on goal, because Molyneux was in behind him then. Go on, Toth. Go on, son. Can he beat him? He's checked back in. That's okay. Keep the ball. Wouldn't have gone that far back myself, but he's gone for Lacey. Arosa, we're getting forward again now. Out for Scando. Arosa to Scando. I wish I could put a highlights compilation of just those passes. Mosley down for Bennett. And for Toth. That was flowing football at its absolute best. We've gone from one side of the field to the other, over to Scando. Scando back across. It's found its way eventually over to Toth, and he's put that in. That is a wonderful finish from our right wing back. That's what we're talking about. That's the sort of football that we need to be playing if we are going to keep the I words in the frame. Aston Villa's beating Middlesbrough. Villa's having a much better season this year. They were poor last year. Was it? They sacked Klopp. I think Montella came in, and Montella he was breaking our team that we put together there. There's not that much left of our team, honestly. But yeah, that's breaking it up a little bit. Mosley should have been better. I think the boob's still there. Last time I checked, there's a few others. Stemenkovic was still there. I'd love to sign Stemenkovic for Forest if we ever get the chance. What a right winger he is. He would be absolute class, but Milovanovic, I think, has got the potential to maybe not be as good attacking outlet, but certainly defensively he is quite solid. Ortiz, look at that, plucks it from the air like he's picking a passion fruit. It's a random fruit reference I just made, isn't it? Maybe an apple would be a more normal reference of fruit to make when it comes to picking. Ortiz is going to get onto that. Can he square it for Mosley? Mosley can't miss. Goal! What has he done? The keeper's pulled out a bit of a worldie, but Mosley has to be scoring that. Still there for us, though. Can Toth dink a cross out? He can. It's out there. It's headed clear. It's gone in. It's still there for us. Scando's in a little sneaky back heel that's been cleared easily. How did Callum Mosley miss that chance? That should have been 2-0. Let's give them a concentrate when we can here. Just try and get into the break at 1-0. We can see we've more or less dominated the game. Possession's been pretty even, but Newcastle haven't done that much with it. Final seconds of the half, and this should be it. There we go, half time it is. Well, we'll take it. It's better than being behind, that's for sure. We'll give them a things are going well, but you're capable of better. We'll do some individual team talks here, and then we will come back and hopefully see out this second half. Alright. Oh, Callum Mosley, that miss. If at 2-0, you'd feel relatively confident we've got this on the bag. But 1-0, it's just... You just never know, do you? They're looking nervous, they're looking frustrated, and now they have a corner. Let's clear this. Oh, well done, Callum Mosley. Can we get to that first? No, Sayer's there. Putting pressure, we're closing down options. No, they've played that well. Emery Moore. He's pretty good. Oh, well done, Scando. I thought that was a foul, but it hasn't been given, and we're away now with Ortiz. We've got men pouring through the middle. Look at this. We've got Bennett and Mosley at the back post. If he can find them. Oh, Sayer. What a defensive play that is for Sayer. And now we find ourselves under attack again. Molyneux. We have enough defenders back there. If we play this sensibly, that should be fine. They just keep dropping off their strikers, don't they? And then it just leaves gaps for them to run in behind. We're doing okay. We just need to keep this concentration, keep them passing sideways. There's a penetrative ball. It's in behind. It's a goal. Matty Molyneux, he's come back to haunt us. We had him at Aston Villa. We never really used him. He's found his way to Newcastle, and he has found a way to come back and bite me in the backside. it was good patient play, wasn't it? They built it up nicely, just waited for the moment. There's the pass there. Buzzanell's just clocked off a little bit, and he's put it in off the post. It was Buzzanell, right? Yeah. Disappointing. And there we go. It's 1-1. It was what could always feared could happen. Let's come to push forward here. Bennett's looking very nervous. Mosley's just... I think we might be missing the physical presence of Elizage up top. Well, Tees, what a goal that is! What a turn! This turn for Mariano Ortiz, there was absolutely nothing on here, and look at this, straight through. It wasn't really a turn, was it? It was just, I don't know what he did. He just a magical first touch, and he's in on goal, clean through, and 2-1. He's such a clinical finisher, isn't he, at times, Ortiz? 400,000, let's not forget we signed him for. Absolute peanuts. All right, toss with the throw for Buzzanell. Back for toss. Lacey. Building out of the back nicely. A Rosa up for Ortiz. He's got to be confident after that strike. He's gone through for, look at that pass for Callum Mosley. Go on, Callum. Not only can he finish like an absolute genius, look at this pass from Mariano Ortiz. What a player, what a striker. Is he Barcelona quality? I mean, they can buy pretty much whoever they want, but there's not many strikers I would take over Ortiz right now. That was absolute class. In the space of how many minutes there? 10 minutes is that in game time? He's turned the game on its head. So let's take a moment here because Lacey's looking tired, Toth is looking tired. We might leave Toth out there because we want Milovanovic to be fresh for who are playing Roma, for the Roma game. We will take Lacey off though, bring Joey Joyce on. Do we want to make any other changes here? It might be a good opportunity to maybe rest Ortiz at this point. I'm relatively confident we can see this out. Bring Jordan Sawyer on. He'll be a physical presence up top. We can play him in a support role as a target man just to everybody to play off. We'll keep Mosley as the poacher. We might even take this back onto control. We don't need to attack anymore, and I always forget to do that. The other thing we don't probably need to do is have our wing-backs bombing forward, so we'll put them on to defend. Defensive wing-back is still a wing-back, isn't it? So we're not going to miss too much. But maybe just watch the back door a little bit more. Toth's done really well, hasn't he? Playing an 8.2. Just continues to defy his attributes. We signed him as a League One player to sort of get us out of League One, hopefully be a good championship player, and here we are in the Premier League, and he is still just producing. But we're into stoppage time now. We're not going to lose this here, are we? The worst that can happen is 3-2. Famous last words, of course, and that doesn't affect where the 3 points end up. Let's just see how this final highlight plays out. Joyce has done really well to cut that out. Arosa back to Joyce, to Toth. Get the Olays out at home, everybody, because this is just how we close out a game of football. Can we nick a fourth? It's gone up for Sawyer. There's a chance here. Time has run out, though. There it is. 3-1. We'll take that and run, won't we? 3 goals, 3 points. Job done. Team talk. It wasn't the best performance, but we'll say well done. Quality of possession provides the victory. We will take victory no matter how it comes. Ortiz, fantastic. Guys, wait right there. We'll be back for a Champions League game at home to Roma. Okay, welcome back. And this is a massive game at home to Roma. You can see we are favourites, which is obviously nice. And if we can win here, 9 points, especially if Sevilla can go and beat Benfica, we essentially assured qualification then. And then we're just fighting that with Sevilla for top of the group. So this is huge. And this is the team we're sending out. A few changes, but essentially the same team. Vazquez in goal. Quinjano, Novikov and Buzzanell across the back. Milovanovic and Scando are going to go down the wings. Lacey and Arosa continue in midfield. Bennett stays in the attacking midfielder role. Elizage comes back in to partner Ortiz up top. Come on, Forest. We need these points. Very defensive looking formation from Roma there, isn't it? All in defensive midfield. We may need to look to exploit the flanks, which we can obviously do. Pick up where they left off. Do we go out there and impress me? Let's try. Let's just try go with the fans again. Can't we have faith? I'm not. Should we have gone with impress me? I don't know. Alright, this is exciting. I love a Champions League anthem. We have gone with exploit the flanks from the start here. The way they're playing in midfield, there's not going to be much space through there, is there? So we are relying on Milovanovic, almost got past, and Scando down the wings to get in behind for us. And then we know crosses in the box. It's either going to be an Elazar bullet header, or it's going to be Ortiz or Bennett getting on the end or something. So let's hope for that. Rosa, look at that out for Scando. Look at the space he's in. He's not even playing on the touchline. He's in space. Scando gets it across. Oh, it's off the bar. Ortiz! Managerial masterstroke. Exploit the flanks. Look how much space. He's not even at the edge of the 18-yard box and he's in space. So we can see where the weakness is. Not great goalkeeping there, is it, to allow that ball to hit the post, but it bounces back in and Ortiz can't miss. 1-0 to Nottingham Forest. This is potentially a massive 3 points we're sitting on here. Let's see what we can do as Milovanovic goes down the line. Elazar is there. Can he square it? We've got Ortiz in the middle again. Ortiz! Easy. 2-0 in 2 goals in as many minutes, isn't it? Because I think we scored in the 4th, we scored again in the 5th minute. Ortiz is absolutely ripping them to shreds. That defending is absolutely horrid. And look at Ortiz and Elazar giving it to the fans. Well then, boys. So there we go. It's almost game over, isn't it? Touch wood. It's a cue at the Roma comeback, but this is absolute. They look a poor team right now. Scando's leaping over tackles as they come flying in. That's not the best pass, but Lacey's there to pick it up. Scando in for Ortiz. He's on a hat-trick already. Back to Scando. Scando's running this game from left back, isn't he? It's there for us. Ortiz again! Ortiz! Hat-trick in 7 minutes! Stop the fight, the pasta is done. We are absolutely smashing Roma. We're 3-0 up. The game is won inside 7 minutes. What is the Champions League record high score? I remember Liverpool put 8 past, was it Besiktas a few years back? Well, it's probably about a decade and a half ago now, isn't it? But we are absolutely killing this. Look at the goals. They're just lining up like London buses. Now, is this going to be a Roma highlight? Have we set off the confetti too early here? Probably. That tends to be what I do, isn't it? But, I mean, 3-0, you would be really annoyed if we conceded 3 goals and didn't get the 3 points here. Ortiz is back. Oh, he's defending now as well. There's nothing this boy can't do. Right, running forward, in for Bennett. We've got Elazar. Maybe just look for the wing. Elazar is in there. Look at the space Milovanovic is in. This is absolutely laughable defending from Roma. Ball comes in for Ortiz again. He's got 4. Whoever the Roma manager is should be sacked at half time. They're getting absolutely torn to shreds down the flanks of their team, and Ortiz is on track to score 45 goals this game. He has 4 goals in 8 minutes. This is absolutely insane. It's ridiculous. What is going on? This 4 goals in 8 minutes. Well, here we go. We haven't scored a goal in 5 minutes. What's going on? Oh, it's a decent effort. Vasquez, you feel like always had that covered though. Can this continue? I mean, it can't, can it? We've already shown here that it can't. Look at those goals. 4 goals in 8 minutes. This isn't a terrible team we're playing against either. I mean, this is a good Italian team, you would assume, if they're in the Champions League. But the way they set up, they were asking to be attacked down the flanks. We've duly obliged, and Ortiz has just whacked in 4 goals. So things look to have settled down a little bit now. We don't really need to go at them as much as I'd like to put a cricket score past them. We don't need to, do we? Force plenty. Goal difference is looking strong. 3 points in the bag, and yeah, we'll see what we can do. I wonder what the individual record is for goals in the game. I think Ronaldo's probably got 5. Messi, I think Did Ronaldo get 5? I seem to remember him getting 5 in a game one time. Is Ortiz the Nottingham Messi or the Nottingham Ronaldo? It's the big question to come from this game, isn't it? Another good ball in. It's there for Bennett. Knocks it down. Oh, that couldn't have been far wide. That wasn't a bad cross. He just floated it in, Milovanovic, and Bennett was there waiting for it. We'll give them a concentrate. We'll wait and see what happens from this highlight. So throw in. It's there for Lacey. Back to Elazar for Arosa. What can he do? Can he put his foot through one? Arosa! Just past the post. Unlucky. That could have been 6, isn't it? We've gone within a whisker of Bennett and Ella Rosa getting goals for us. We've got a corner now. Can we do something from this? It's up. It's headed away. Bennett's there. Can he get a ball back in? Novikov. That's a nice ball out for Lacey in space. Can he whip in across? He can. It's there for Elazar, and he's missed as well. That should have been a goal. We could have been pushing double figures here. But we'll take 4, won't we? We won't complain about it. If you are enjoying this, make sure you leave the video a thumbs up, because this is absolutely insane. And they still haven't changed their formation. They're all looking uninterested. They don't care anymore. And I don't blame them, to be honest, because their manager has absolutely sold them up the river. Look at that for a half of... That's Champions League football. How's the other game going? 0-0 between Sevilla and Benfica. I think that would actually be a good result for us if they both drop points, wouldn't it? Let's give this a passionate... Let's give it a passionate. The media's given me a lot of credit lately. Go and put a display worthy. I haven't actually used that team talk before. So we'll see how that goes. We'll do some individual team talks here and we'll come back for hopefully some more goals in this second half. We may look to start resting players here actually because we'll just see how the half starts. If they sort of look like they might do what we did at the start of that first half, then we want to make sure we have our best team out there. But I'm thinking... we may look to rest. Maybe Novikov's played a lot of football lately. We have Cox on the bench, so we can bring him on. I don't want to take Ortiz off. I want to see how many goals he could maybe get. Chad Jones might be another one we could look to bring on for Bennett. Bennett's played a lot lately as well. It's not the best tackle out there. We had that clear. We can. Quajano's there. Bennett, early ball over the top for Ortiz. Is this 5? He has Elazar in the middle. Look at the defending there. That is absolutely woeful. Elazar, and he's missed. Oh, Elazar, dude, what are you thinking? How many... So the chances that have either just missed or we probably should have scored, is it, what, next another 3 or 4 goals? 7-8-0? It's insane what we are doing to Roma. You almost feel bad for them, don't you? What are we in here? 55th minute. Alright. They're not coming back in this. Look at that body language. They do not give a monkeys right now. So we'll do that. We'll bring on Bennett for... No, we'll take off Bennett for Jones. We will... It might be a good opportunity to rest Scando, actually. Bring on Aussie Chris. And then we might keep a sub up our sleeve. That seems like a sensible thing to do. If I am to make another sub, I'm almost thinking Jones for Arosa might be a good one as well. I think we might rest Lacey for Griffiths. I think our next game is at Brighton. I can't remember if it's home or away. So we can bring Griffiths back in for Lacey for that one. That should be fine. That's a bit of a lungy tackle. Is he off for that? That looked like a red card, didn't it? And as if things couldn't get any better, we're now playing against 10 men. They're rubbish and they're down to 10. So let's... Elazar just looking a little bit tired here as well. I want to bring Joyce on just to try and help him fit into the club. He's not quite acclimatizing as well as I had hoped. We can play him in the advanced playmaker. And we'll go from there. Another thing we might do actually is let's play with more width. Let's just spread the field and just really try and make them hurt. There we go. Maybe play at a higher tempo. Just really try and spread the field, knock it around them, and just... Be disappointing if we scored all our goals in the first 8 minutes. Let's give it a push forward. See what we can do. We can showboat a little bit now, can't we? Because they're not coming back. In the end, Sevilla are going behind against Benfica, so that keeps the group interesting for Benfica as well. I would have preferred if Sevilla had won that game, because then we know we're essentially in the top two. If we get through the group, that's all we can really ask for, isn't it? There's a ball in for Aussie Chris here, if he can find it. It's there for Elazar! And it's 5, Aussie Chris with a wonderful ball. And look at the space. That is piss-takingly large amounts of space. They have not adjusted. They were so obvious. All we had to do was exploit the flanks, and there was no way they were going to stop us. And they have not adjusted to it. I honestly cannot believe what we've faced here. This is an absolute, just a walk in the park against an Italian team who you assume would be good at defending, and they've been laughably bad. And again, it comes back to the chances we've missed as well. We've missed more chances. Here's Ortiz for 5. Oh, he's missed it. Mariano Ortiz, he is human after all. How has he missed that though? But there it is, 5-0. Stand up and applaud, because that was something special. Sure, they went down to 10 men, but we already had put the game to bed. Look at that. 5th minute, 6th minute, 8th minute, 9th minute. Game done. We cannot be anything other than passionately happy with that. That was absolutely superb. And there we go. So Benfica did end up beating Sevilla. Not ideal for us. Dominant win for the Reds. Is that our best performance? Let me know what you think in the comments. Was that our best performance at Nottingham Forest? We've had some good ones. At the end of last year, we put 5 past Spurs and then a few past Arsenal. So that's got to be up there as one of our better performances as well. But that was stunning, wasn't it? So you can see 2 games to go. It's interesting. We've got to play Benfica and Sevilla yet, so it's going to come down to the wire. That goal difference though, +9, that's gonna help us out. That's an extra point, isn't it? So that's it for this episode though, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed that, and we just scored the sneaky 8 goals, so it hasn't been half bad, has it? Make sure you leave a thumbs up. If you're new, subscribe. Let's see how far we can go this season. Can we win the Premier League? Can we win the Champions League? The I word in the Premier League, it is still on, though a little bit lucky against Arsenal. Probably unlikely, but you never know what could happen. So we'll be back on Sunday. We've got to watch the Benfica game, don't we? That turns into a massive game. And I mean, the other game, do we watch 4th in the table Villa, of course our former club, or 2nd in the table Chelsea at home? I think we've got to go with Chelsea, don't we? 2nd in the table. So we'll do that. That'll be Sunday's episode. It'll be Benfica, a massive Champions League game where we could secure our path into the knockout rounds. And then Chelsea at home, 2nd in the league, chasing us down if they can. What an episode that's going to be. I'm already excited for that. But until then, I've been Aussie Villain. Thank you so much for watching. And here are some of our best goals from October. Take care.